So you are always feeling, you are always saturated, you are always full of energy. In your field, in your environment, there's no emptiness. In the space of this room, it is filled with gases. It is filled with air that I breathe. It has molecules floating around. It is constantly bouncing sound everywhere. There's warmth, there's cold, there's everything. There's every sensation happening. Okay. So, as intuitives, how is that impacting us? What's happening when we are feeling? What is happening when we're engaged with another person or hearing what is happening in the world around us and with our culture? How are we being impacted? How are we being affected by these things? This is what we're looking to explore today is when do you allow yourself to be present and feel, and when do you change the environment? So Vienna, the founder of Theta Healing, she always loved working with children. She developed the Rainbow Children's course, and she defines a rainbow children as an evolution of spirit that is not just being impacted by and being saturated by, but simply by being present in a room changes the room. A rainbow child, when they walk into a room, changes what is happening. They have this magical ability of charismatically clearing and altering what is happening, whatever it is. And how is it that they're able to do this? What is it that allows for their light to impact the free will of the environment and others to change it, versus feeling that the environment is filling them and they're being saturated by it? And it has to do with tapping into our soul and remembering that we are unique divine lights, that we can have a centered place. But sometimes it's hard to remember. So the other day, I was talking with my daughter, and she has a lot going on in her life. She's a teenager. And everything's so dramatic. Every story of what's happening in her life that she's sharing is so intense, so dramatic. And being her parent, I care, right? So I become very sensitive to it. And I started realizing, oh wow, I'm getting sucked into this drama. What is happening? Why am I all of a sudden now participating and engaged in a drama that is happening with her? Right? And what was happening was I was empathically feeling. I cared, so I also was allowing for all the drama to hook me, right? Because, I want to problem solve it. I want to guide her. I want to protect her. I have all these like ideas of what a parent can and should be that was imprinted onto me from my parents, and all of what I do in my work, which, is coaching and advising and directing intuitively. So speaking with her, it's just natural for me to want to go to those places and take her in process and advise and help her out. And what happens is then I'm not engaging with my daughter in her light. I'm engaging with the frequency of her drama. Okay? I'm sucked into it. I'm now saturated in feeling and reacting and allowing for it to take over my frequency rather than change it. So when that was happening, I realized, and I was like, wait a second. I remember being that way. I was that way once, all dramatic. And I realized that who was it that helped facilitate the most rapid supportive change for me? And I had this fairy godmother that was pure magic. She would come in and show up in my life and just alter everything just by coming in. And when I would have conversations with her, I'd want to go and share whatever was happening and be dramatic or sorrow or whatever it was. And there was no room for that conversation because even when I would speak from a certain place, she would talk to me in a different place. She wouldn't engage with the same mindset and meet me on my level. She would speak to something completely different, as though whatever I was saying wasn't even existing. And it would alter me. I was like, whoa, there's no room here for my drama. So as I remembered this, I realized, oh, I don't have to engage in this drama with my daughter. I can actually engage and lift and speak to her light from my light and connect on another level.